We have our Chanel unboxing today, as promised. So these are all the pieces that I have picked up, at least so far, from Matthieu Blazy's Spring Summer 26 collection. I would love to buy more. All the pieces are quite expensive and difficult to get. And I'm going to get to the unboxing very, very quickly, I promise. But I want to go through just to set the stage, if you will, about Matthieu Blazy's vision for the collections together as a ecosystem for the whole year. And why I picked up these pieces, the pieces that I'm still interested in thinking about looking at, if it's even possible, why I'm choosing these, what I'm looking forward to in the other collections, and when those other collections launch, so that we can all collectively understand how to, well, first of all, save up for these pieces if these are pieces we want to buy, but also to understand what we might be interested in based on what the collections offer, because each collection offers something a little bit different. Technically, and I say technically because I'll explain, there are 8 collections a year by Chanel. It's a lot. 6 of them are ready to wear. 2 of them are like the haute couture, made to measure kind of thing. So those are special. Those are special people. I mean, if you've ever been able to do that, that's very cool. I actually did have my wedding dress made for me, so I know the process, but it's, it's a custom piece. It's not quite the same as these runway shows or ready to wear collections. So there are 6. Spring Summer Pre. So that was in stores in January and February, and it's basically transitional pieces, wearable pieces. That collection, it's a little bit smaller collection usually, is not on the runway. It's more of a commercial launch. It usually has the DNA of the spring summer collection, but it's, usually there are more pieces that are accessible price range, whatever that means these days, and pieces that you could think of as transitioning from, winter to spring. Then there's the Spring Summer collection, which is what this is, Spring Summer 26. And this is Blazy's real official launch, at least, I would say, because this is the first time we're getting the Blazy pieces in the boutiques. And this launched in March, that's when it usually launches. This one was March 17th in the US. If you were somebody who is a VIC client, or you went to the REC, which is the event right after the runway, of course you could get pieces ahead of time, and different pieces that might never even make it to the boutiques. Then there's the Métiers collection. The Métiers collection is a celebration of artisans. You're talking about something that is the pinnacle of craftsmanship. Special knitting and special materials and sequins and all of those things. I think a lot of us in the US think of it as the New York collection. It was the one that was held in the subway. There are a number of pieces that from that collection that I think are going to be iconic in the Chanel history books, and there are pieces from that I really want, which is another reason I tried not to go overboard with the spring summer. Then there's the pre-fall winter, which again is transitional from fall winter, from summer to fall winter, and you get layers, new bag colors. That's usually July or August. Then the fall winter, which is fall winter, that is runway, and we have seen that. There's some beautiful pieces in that as well. And then you see cruise, which is November, and cruise is resort wear. Usually cruise is the most fun collection. It used to be cruise when it was first created. We had a very scary UPS person at the front door, so we had to go. And Ellie had to make it clear she was protecting the house. Anyway, cruise is usually the most colorful, resort wear, really fun. It used to be for people who were very, very wealthy that would be going away on a resort, on a cruise, not something people used to do unless they were very, very wealthy. And so it was a small, very exclusive collection. Now it's become kind of, for people who follow Chanel, kind of like the fun collection every year that everybody kind of looks forward to. And the bags that are in those cruise collections, they're not always the most collectible, but they are often the most collectible. So with that, let's get to the unboxing. So first I am going to start with a pair of earrings that I picked up, and you might have seen these in the short that I did. Ellie's very interested. You want to see? It's not food. I'm so sorry. And these earrings are really interesting because they remind me of the 80s. To me, they are very 80s coded. These, I did a lot of research on each piece to really kind of give you a background for each one. And the vision of these is that they represent Blazy's obsession, if you will, for oval. He really likes oval, and I've seen a lot of oval. Dior has it, you know, the oval belt buckle. So I just think it's kind of interesting, like it's oval's in. Anyway, he used egg-like organic shapes throughout the collection. And the idea of the egg is that it's supposed to be like a rebirth of the house of Chanel. And these are kind of moving away from the typical camellia studs and being more like a statement minimal. So, you know, basically they're statement earrings, but there's very little detail to these. They are high shine gold tone metal. They have tiny understated black enamel CCs. And they definitely reflect the light when you wear these. They are simple, minimalist in design, but they almost look, you know, I'll have to clean them up after I put them on because they have such a high polish finish. They're almost like mirrors, like they reflect quite a bit of light. That's what they look like on. Very comfortable. They have some weight to them, but they don't pull the ears down. Like if these were true 80s earrings, they would be much heavier. So they're actually very comfortable. They're very versatile earrings. You could wear these with anything. You could do something very casual like I'm wearing. This is a wrap Chanel sweater from, oh my goodness, I don't even remember how many years ago this one is. But you could do it with something like this, or you could definitely wear this with like a cocktail dress. They're stunning. They're very beautiful, but very understated earrings. I went with these because I felt like these were like core Blazy. One, because he's kind of obsessed with the egg shape. Two, because they're minimalist, but they're definitely, you know, Chanel. And because I think they're so versatile. I think they'll just go with everything. I think it's something that I would keep for 100 years and not ever think, oh, that's outdated. Or that doesn't, you know, that no longer is my aesthetic. This will always be my aesthetic. And again, I do feel like they're slightly 80s coded. Like I like that. I think they're fun. And they're big, but they're not super heavy. Next are a pair of shoes. These pair of shoes I actually got from Beverly Hills, thanks to a very dear friend of mine who I actually met through this channel, through Sophia. I don't know if she wants me to mention her name, so I won't mention it now, but I'll mention it later if you want me to. I was looking for these shoes. My store, Boston, Newbury Street, did not order them. So that's another piece of this. For the Blazy collection, they had a different type of rule in place that basically said, whatever the store orders, when you go to that store, you can pick up that piece, you can buy it. Could call any other store in the world and ask them if they had the piece and they could buy it. You could buy it and they could send it to you. But the stores couldn't do that. So my SA could not call another SA and say, hi, my client Jennifer's looking for these shoes, can you send them? They were not allowed to do that for the first 2 weeks of the collection because basically they were afraid of a feeding frenzy back and forth, which I get. So like I said, my friend gave me the name of someone in Beverly Hills to call because my SA told me that the only place she could find these shoes was in Beverly Hills. And so I was like, of course they are. So I called this lovely man, Patrick, and I said, hi, Patrick, you know, my name is Jennifer. I'm looking for these shoes. And he said, we don't have them in your size. They are sold out. And this was the day before the 17th. So this was the 16th. No, this was actually before that. So what it was, and this is how my brain works, I went in to see my SA the Friday before. So whatever date that was. And I said, I know the collection's going live on Tuesday. What did the store order? So you can reserve it for me and I'll come in and buy it or give you my card. And she said, we did not order these shoes, and here are the places that have them. And so there were a couple places that had them, and then that's when I talked to my friend and got the name in Beverly Hills. And when I called him, it was either Saturday or Sunday. And I actually texted him, and he got back to me immediately, which was so kind, because he doesn't really know me. And he said, we're sold out. And I'm like, how can you be sold out? It hasn't gone live yet. But remember, VICs, they get advance notice of all these things, and they get to shop before. So it's pretty obvious that the VICs had bought this particular style out before it even hit the floors. And I said, oh, okay. He goes, wait a second. He's like, I have a pair on a mannequin. And I was like, okay. And he went and looked at the mannequin, and the mannequin had a 37. Now, technically, strangely enough, in this collection so far, I seem to be a 36 and a half, but the 37 is fine. 37 is what I usually wear in Chanel. And because these are mules, the 37 is perfect. They are like, they're not big. They're just, I could do a 36 and a half or a 37. Either way, it's totally fine. So they have a little bit of a heel. These are the black suede CC mules, and they are definitely leaning into the quiet luxury. Now, this particular front I've seen on other shoes, like the fold over, but the shape is a little bit different. This is more narrow, and this is just suede. They don't have any of the embossing or the cross hatching. And the turn locks, yes, they turn. They do. They work, which I think is just the coolest thing. I mean, I don't know what in the world why I would do it, but they do work. So you can take the little flap and turn it. Again, it's just the detail of it, right? I mean, if you're gonna spend this much for shoes, the details matter. So they are crafted in suede kidskin, so it's got a more matte finish than a standard leather. And this is the detail right here. It's the oversized flap and this turn lock, making it something casual to wear every day, but classic and beautiful. If I had endless amounts of money, I would have bought these in the camel as well. I love these shoes. I think they're beautiful, but they weren't even at my store, so I couldn't even try them on. So I ordered them blind. You know, they're perfect and I love them and I'm glad I bought them, but I don't buy things blind that cost that kind of money. So I purchased them because I love the heel height. It's not too high. I love a mule. This shape is exactly me. Like, I love this shape. I have a pair that are similar in Todd's from many, many years ago. And I love a mule shape. For me, it's just a very easy way to slip on a shoe and go. I also think it's a very classic shape. Now, I would also say that suede is not the best choice living in Boston, but we're about to go into summer and fall, which is, I mean, it's humid, yes, but once we get to summer, we're not there yet, guys. We got to get to very wet spring first. But it's the, you know, it's humid, but we're not rainy really that much in the summer and fall. So at least it will be mostly safe to wear these shoes. Plus, you can use suede protector and you'll be fine. But yes, I'm in love with them. I think they're gorgeous. They were one of the things that I immediately saw that I was like, I must have these, and was so devastated to see that my store did not have them. So Patrick, thank you so much for taking them off the mannequin and sending them to me. Now, the next is another pair of earrings, and there are a number of pieces of jewelry that I actually love in this collection, but I have promised myself that I would not buy excessive amounts, considering that this is costume jewelry. None of this is gold plated, none of this is semi-precious stones, and the price point is extremely high because, of course, it is Chanel, and it is Matthieu Blazy. There are several necklaces, and I will show you what they are. They should be going up now, that I fell in love with immediately when I saw the collection. And I think they're very different. I think they're, you know, unique designs, which is why I liked them so much. I think this one, it comes in black and white, and there's like green. The green, of course, is my favorite. And the linking system for these allows it to be longer or shorter depending on how many necklaces you buy. The issue, of course, with this is the price point. As you can see, it is quite high. And I can't bring myself to pay that for something that is not either semi-precious, precious, or, you know, gold, or even like sterling silver. I can't do it. So although I love that piece and the earrings that go with it, I couldn't do it. And then there's these green hoop earrings. They come in multiple colors as well. I'll show you those. I love them, but my store did not order them. They seem very difficult to find. And I finally got to a point where I was like, I'm not gonna hunt down things. If I find the things that I originally wanted that I absolutely love, I will get those, and then I'll just be happy. Kind of try to move on because of the collections that are coming up. And then there's this necklace with the planets, which I love. I love this. One of my friends got to see this because she is a VIC early, and she said it's a very short length, so I don't know how tight it would be around my neck, but I do love the piece. I also love the piece that has the 3 planets on it and the earrings. Now the earrings have been done with the 2 different types of planets in it, with the clear, with black, I think they're like sequins, and then these. And these are the ones that were in my store, and I immediately loved them the second I saw them. These are a nod to Coco Chanel's original 1932 Bijoux des Diamants collection, which was famously inspired by the stars and the moon. It's a deep navy resin globe with gold toned stars and inset crystals hanging from the classic CC stud. So these represent the whimsical nighttime fantasy side of the collection. So the symmetry that I kind of thought made sense to me was I would get the grounded gold tone everyday gold studs that you would wear all the time, and these would be more of the evening kind of, you know, earrings. So I would get one from each side of it. That was my thought process. It was tough, guys. I had to come up with some kind of thought process for all of this, because if it wasn't for that, I think I would have bought like 10 pieces. They're both very comfortable. Like, they're not super heavy. Like, neither one is like a super heavy piece. But I really liked all the designs. I just thought they were great. There's a number of pieces that I would have bought. I mean, it was really bad. I was standing looking at all these things going, well, I'd buy that, I'd buy that. So it was just pure, I don't want to say pure self-control, but a lot of it was. A lot of it was just like, okay, Jen, you know, you have to realize that you can't buy everything, and there's other pieces coming in other collections that you're really interested in. Last but not least, these, I bought another 2 pairs of shoes, and they are the same design but different fabric. These are the V-neck pumps. Now, the ones that we had in my store that I tried on for all of you were black and white, and I did like the black and white ones, and I was like, oh, those are very cool. You know, I could see me wearing those, but I didn't think they were as practical. What I ended up getting, and you'll say, well, why are these practical? Because they're suede, is the color. These are the, I'd say, beige suede with the black. These will go with anything that I have that's black, but it'll also go with anything that I have that's a neutral with the black, because I mean, black is a neutral, and then beige, you know? So it's like the perfect, it's gonna go with jeans, it's gonna go with the perfect black dress. Like, I mean, it can go with so many different things that I have. I don't have white in my collection. Like, I have very few pieces that are white. I don't look good in white, actually. I look much better in like greens and blues, blacks, purples, like deep shades. I don't really look good in a white. I can wear like a white shirt, a crisp shirt, but then I have to have other colors with it. All white, not really my thing. So the silhouette of these is kind of the it shoe of this collection. The V-Vamp is Blazy's signature to kind of modernize the classic pump. It elongates the leg and offers a sharper, more directional look than the traditional rounded opening. So you basically, you know, gives you this kind of look. This is a black patent leather trim, and it's a homage to Gabrielle's 1957 two-tone philosophy that she had about, like, she would have like the black and the tan, or black and the white, and one would be patent, one would be suede, etc. The beige is one of those things that represents kind of the eternal classic luxury choice, right? These are definitely that, not simple by any means, but certainly more everyday kind of pump, right? It's, you know, something that you, like I said, as you'll see, wear with jeans, wear with black, wear with a skirt, a dress, pants, whatever. Whereas the other colorway that I got, which by the way came from Boca Raton, because no one had these shoes. No one. I was able to get these shoes from a personal shopper, and he goes by styled_by_Raffi, R-A-F-F-I. I'll make sure his information is up on the screen. He's basically Boston and LA, but he's a personal shopper. He can get you things from anywhere. And so he had posted on Instagram that he had these shoes or access to these shoes. The chances of getting them in my size, I knew were small, but I was like, all right, well, you know, I'm going to try. And he was able to get them for me. These represent the very non-everyday design. The beige, if the beige is the eternal choice, these are the, no, I mean, these are not every day. Although, maybe they are. Maybe I am gonna wear these every day because I absolutely love them. I love the print, I love the croc embossed, I love the fact that it's this gorgeous green with the patent leather. I think these are stunning. And I will tell you, I got to try the black and white ones on in a store, and as I said in my short, I was actually able to walk in them. They're actually quite comfortable. They have a heel. These are like a 4-inch heel. I am surprised at how comfortable these are. Now, I'm not saying you want to go for a long walk in these, because you don't. But if you're going out to dinner and you're walking around for a little bit, these are actually some of the most comfortable heels I've worn in a very long time. I don't generally wear heels, so I was surprised at how comfortable these were. I think part of it is the front of it, because it's wider, because it's not this point. My feet don't feel as much like they're crushed. And also just, I think the way the design is, the heel comes a little bit more towards the middle of the foot so that you have more of a support than the outside. But these are definitely stiletto heels. I mean, they are not these, and they are not the usual chunky heel that I wear. The other shoes that I tried on that they didn't have at all close to my size, the smallest size they had was a 9.5, are these. And I know a lot of people do not like this style. I happen to love this style. Kind of reminds me of Phoebe Philo. She did some things in this kind of design. I almost tried to hunt down these shoes in different colorway, because there's different colorways for these shoes. They have a lower heel. I think it's like 3 inches, and then they have one that's even lower than that, and it's coming in some really cool colorways. This one in particular, I love this. I have no idea where I'd wear this, but if it actually makes it to boutiques, I really like it. And one of the reasons that, I am so excited, and I think a lot of people are excited about this, is because of the sense of fun. It's this sense of like quirkiness, the little ducks or chicks that are in the earrings, or the egg shapes, or the croc embossed green. I think that is what people are, the people that you see that are obsessed with the Blazy collection. I think that's some of it. I think it's this sense that there seems to be some fun and whimsy in the collections. And you can see this no better than in what I'm calling the New York collection, the Métiers collection. There's a lot of that. There's the Superman sweater, there's the I Love New York with the heart, there's basically the Wonder Woman boots, there's the Tony the Tiger, suit. There are so many pieces from that collection that I love and I would love to get my hands on. I don't know if I'll be able to buy any of it, because as you saw with the price points of just these things, and the bags that went out this year for spring summer, they're incredibly expensive. And so I don't know if that will be above my price point. We'll just have to wait and see, because I won't know until probably next month in April what the price points would even be near. I am still waiting for 2 items to come to my boutique. They have been reserved for me, and supposedly they are coming. One is the sweater that I tried on that I got so many notices from all of you that you guys loved. I just don't love it in the cream. I would want it in the gray. The problem is the size that I tried on is a size 40, and that fit perfectly. The size that's coming into the store is a 44. I think it's gonna be way too big, but I will try it on and see what I think about it, and I will let you guys see. That sweater with tax is $5,500. That's a lot. If I am interested in the pieces from the Métiers collection, like this bag, and who knows what this will be, or this coat, or these pieces of jewelry, or the ones that are coming in fall, winter, and there's, so many. Do you spend that on a sweater? It's a privileged problem to have, but again, it's a lot. The other thing that's coming in that has been reserved for me is the bag. The bag matches the shoes. This bag is the executive tote basically for 2026, and it's the embossed leather. It also comes in black. It also comes in a plain leather. It will be coming out in a bright red for fall winter. There are also other croc embossed bags that are coming out again for fall winter that I love. I think they're beautiful, and so it's difficult for me to decide, do I spend money now? Do I wait for later? Is this so unique that I will regret not buying it later because of the color in particular? But again, the price point attached is, it's a lot. It's quite a bit, guys. There's always something new with Chanel. So unless it's something that really speaks to you, unless it's something that you feel like you absolutely must have, these shoes were something I felt like I had to have. I have nothing like this anywhere in my collection. I will keep these for the rest of my life if I have to redo them several times. I don't think I'll have to do that because honestly, I don't think I'll wear them very often. I do think these will be more special wear, but you know what? I don't know. I might just wear these with jeans every day because I love them that much. I think these will be very practical, and I think I will wear them all the time. And the suede and black ones, again, very practical choice. The earrings, I love these earrings, and although I say these are the more evening ones, these are, I mean, I could wear these during the day, and they're not like super heavy or like the Starburst ones. These are incredibly practical and I think will be a staple of my collection. So I tried to pick in a reasonable way. But again, when you're dealing with luxury and you're dealing with something like Chanel, and this is just my take, guys, it shouldn't be practical. It's luxury fashion. None of us need any of this. This should be what your heart wants. And as long as your wallet can handle it, you know, it's something that really speaks to you. These shoes, I don't care what anyone says, I love these shoes. Like I smiled, like I just love them. You can see, like, the minute I picked them up, even though just looking at them makes me happy. So, you know, just remember that. They'll, in 6 months' time, will you still be like, oh, I really wish I had bought those? That's what I think you have to do, and at least that's what I do. So I'm gonna go try on the sweater when it comes in. I will definitely try on the purse. There's part of me that's afraid I'm going to love the purse and feel like I need to buy it. But you know, I've seen so many great things from the upcoming collections. And here's the last piece before we go. Those are the pieces that we see. You don't get to see the other pieces like these or these or these until Chanel releases what they call the In Chanel website. So if you're part of In Chanel, like I am, ahead of time you do get to see extra pieces, a wider array of what's coming to the boutiques than you saw on the runway. So it's whatever made it through past the runway to the boutiques plus. But I won't know what those are for, like, I mean, probably late April. And so by that time, I don't think the bag or the sweater will be available. I just don't. I think, you know, they were taking these shoes off of a mannequin. So these shoes were the last ones they could find in my size in the country. So I think I have to make the decision before I really know what else is coming. And I don't love that. I understand why they do it, the exclusive nature of these collections. I really do. I get it from a business point of view. But yeah, I don't love that because you can't take these things back after 14 days. So if I bought the green purse and then a month and a half later, I was like, but I like this bag so much more, I can't take the green bag back and get this other thing. You can't do that. It's not Nordstrom. You got 2 weeks, that's all you have. Like I said, it's a very privileged problem to have, but I am going back and forth and trying to decide, you know, what I do now and what I wait for. So I'd love to hear about your thoughts about the collection, your thoughts about continuation of the collection throughout the year. If you look at the pieces, you can see in the Métiers and the fall, and I don't know about Cruz, there's this continuation of the oval shapes, the embossing, so that nature side of things that he likes, the V shape, which is going to continue, the sock shaped shoe, which is going to continue, the tote, bringing back the tote, bringing back a lot of Gabrielle's, Coco's classic pieces like the Diamante and the patent and the bicolors. All of those things will continue in the Métiers collection and the fall winter collections. And again, there will be more. And if you don't get the Blazy collection or you don't get the Vision, that's okay too. There's so many other collections out there that are doing really great work. Dior, Loewe, Prada, whatever your thing is, you know, there's a lot of, I think, exciting things out there. It doesn't have to be Chanel. If you're not interested, you're not interested. It'll save you money. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you in another video really soon.